Okay, so now that we have more or less our branding, we can start making our other elements, right? We can actually start making our pages here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and actually rename this one, and I'm going to call this home. That'll be our home page, so like the landing page or the starting page. And at the top, usually we have a menu, right? So you can decide how to do this however you want, but I'm just going to make a menu at the top. I think it just makes the most sense. Oops, I'm in prototype. So I'm going to go to my rectangle tool, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to snap from the top, and we'll go to roughly there. Another thing I'm going to do that will help me just as a guide is, so I'm going to do that first, and then I just want to make it red, so I'm going to click on that. That's going to make that red, so we'll do a red menu up on the top. Another thing that actually could be helpful is if I click on the home, you can see we have the size and everything here, but then there's an option right here for one, we can change the fill. So if I wanted the background color to be something different, actually, let's go ahead and do that too. I'm going to click on this, and let's just make the background color the light blue here. Actually, that's a little bit, let's go a little lighter. So, and let's hit plus. I think I like that better because I think it looks better for the background. I'm going to go ahead and do that for all of these. Let's go ahead, actually, yeah. Go ahead here, and I'm going to click on this, and and let's just do that color instead, and then we're just going to add it here, and then I'm just going to take this one and delete it. Just because for a background color it works a little bit better. Anyway, okay, so we can do that, but the thing actually I wanted to show you was this layout. So what you can do is you can actually turn on this layout, and what that's going to do is it's going to create those columns and gutters and such that you're probably used to. If you've ever done any kind of page layout, this is a really common thing. If you've done web design, we usually try to do a 12-column system, just because it allows you to divide things by both 4 and by 3. So you can easily divide by 2. So anyway, we can turn that on if you find that helpful. I'm just going to go ahead and turn that on. That way it'll help me as far as like my lineup of the elements. Okay, so I've got that going on. That looks fine. I put a menu up there. Now what I want to do is I need to put in my other elements. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my logo here. And because it's something that I might need to like repeatedly use, it's actually a good idea for me to make this as a component. Okay, so I'm going to make this. I'm actually going to do it like this. We're going to bring this down here first, just because it'll be easier. And I'm going to hold shift and make it smaller. All right, let's bring this down a little bit more. And I'm just going to zoom in here a little bit. Let's go down a little bit more. So the strokes are a little bit too much. So I'm going to go to my layers here, and I'm going to take this path. And can I grab both of you? I can. And we're going to take the size. Let's put 1 in there. What does that do? That's a little bit too small. Let's try 2. 2 looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm just going to change my stroke on those just so that looks a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to make it into a component. And actually, I want to center this as well. There we go. Now we're centered. So I'm going to go back here. And when you see components, you hit a little plus. And that's going to make the Pepsi logos finished. Now, what I'm going to do, it's going to seem kind of weird because I don't know why would I bring it down there. I just want to get it to the right side. I'm going to put it back up here. And what I want you to notice is I'm going to, every time I want to use this, I can just go ahead and I can grab it from there, okay? And I can go plop, right? I mean, I can also duplicate it there. But the one thing I want you to notice is, notice how this has a little diamond on it. Well, they both have diamonds. But see how theirs is colored in here? It's green. If you look at this one's white. So when you have a component, what's nice about that is that when you change the original, those changes will happen to the other ones as well. So what we want to do is I'm going to, just so you can see this working, is I'm going to grab this one, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do this color. See how now that has populated to any of the duplicates of it, okay? So since it's something I'm going to be using often, I can quickly grab it here, and if it, for some reason the design needs to change in some way, I have that readily available for me down here. Okay, so that looks good. It also gives some other options, which we'll discuss later. So I'm going to put that right in the center. The next thing I need is the Pepsi here. So I could just go ahead and I'm just going to, we'll just draw a little box. And I'm just going to write Pepsi. Okay, let's get down in here a little bit more. Oh, well, let me scroll in. Let's get down in here. And what I can do is I can take this and then I can go, oh, I want the dark one. And then that's actually going to give me the same style as that there. And we'll just put that like so. And I'm going to snap it up there. Let's take the logo and we'll just snap it to here. So that way it fits across And are we centered? I think we're roughly centered. Good. And then roughly centered. Good. Okay. That looks good. So now it says that, and then it says Pepsi. That looks great. I actually think this would look better as white, so I'm just going to go ahead and make that white. Okay. Feels a little big too. We'll just leave it. Okay. So that looks mostly good. But one of the things I need on my menu is I need to have the hamburger, right? That little menu icon. So you might have noticed we don't have one of those. So if you recall, I already downloaded a couple of plugins here, like the Lorem Ipsum, but one of the ones I did was this Icons for Design. So what this allows you to do is it will actually look on the internet and find you icons, which is super handy. Now, if you're familiar with web design, oh man, they added more to this. You'll recognize some of these. So for instance, you'll recognize Bootstrap, because that's like a framework that we build off of. There's also Font Awesome, which is a very common one that you will see. And there's a lot of them. There used to only be like 3. There's a whole bunch of them. They probably have, what is it? Material. That's what it's called. Where is it? Right here. Material. That's a Google icon library. But anyway, we can look up here, and then I'm just going to look up menu, right? And then what it'll do is it'll actually show you all the ones that are menu options, in all the different the different libraries. Okay. Now, what I would suggest, generally speaking, is stick to one of them. Okay. So, meaning if you're going to use Solar, you should use Solar for all of your icons if you can help it, because those will naturally already be combined. They were already kind of matched. So for mine, I'm going to go ahead and just use Material. So I'm going to take this guy, and then there we go. Now I have this little menu here, and that looks great. And I'm just going to take it, and I'm going to put it down here. Okay, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I'm just going to hold Shift, make it a little bit bigger, and we'll snap it to this side. Maybe make it a little bit bigger still. We'll say like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm also going to want to change its color, so let's just go ahead and go here, and I'm just going to make it white. Okay. Now, the other thing is, again, this is one of those things I might need to use multiple times. So what I'm going to do is, with it selected, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make it another component. Okay. And let's just call this the menu icon. And we'll just call this Pepsi logo. Pepsi logo. Great. Okay. Menu icon. Now, what I want to show you is this. I'm actually going to take this. We're going to do like I did before. And I'm going to bring it up here. All right. And I'm going to also do this just to make things a little bit easier. I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to hold Alt, drag it over here so I can see everything that I'm doing. Okay. So we'll just do something like this. Like that. All right. So what I want to do, though, is that now that this is a component, another feature that we have, besides the whole being able to change it and all the other ones being changed, is we can actually change, basically we can have states, such as you would have as for buttons, right? So if you're familiar with creating buttons, usually you have like rollover and you have on click or selection. In this case, it's toggle. There's also focus. We never really use that one, but so default state means this is what it looks like by default. What I want to do now is I'm going to add another state to this. So you're going to click, boom, new state, hover state, and toggle state. We're just going to use these two. We're not making a custom one, so we'll just go ahead and do hover. Okay, and we'll just leave it called hover. And now what that means is that when it's in hover, when I'm on this one, anything I change on this is what it's going to look like on hover. So I'm going to go down to my fill, and let's have that when it's on hover, it is, we'll say, a little bit of a, actually, let's go a little bit dark. No, that doesn't look very good. Let's go this way. So it'll kind of color like that. Okay. That looks good. Now I'm just going to go back to default state, hit the plus again, and this time we'll do the toggle state. Click off, click back on it, make sure I'm on the toggle state, and this time let's just go the other way. So let's go to make it darker, and actually we'll go like this. Okay. So that means when we click on it, it looks like this. When we hover over it, looks like this, and then on default, it looks like this. Make sure you click back on it and go default, because otherwise what ends up happening is that when you first turn it on, it's going to look like whatever the state is that you left it on. So we're just going to do that. So now I'm just going to take that, and I will just hold Alt and bring it down here. Okay. I could have also just grabbed it from over there. It's the same thing, but we were already there. So I'm just going to like that. And just so you can kind of see how this works, I'm going to go ahead and let's back this up. I'm going to click on home to make sure that's the one I'm previewing. And if you hit Control Enter or you hit play up here, it will bring up a preview. And now watch, when I hover over, see it looks like that. And when I click, looks like that. Okay? So that's the idea. So now we have a button and we have our little logo, and yay. Okay, so we have a basic thing going on here. All right, let's go ahead and make our next elements. So what I want to do is we're going to have, I think, like a sub menu here, like a title on the bottom that just kind of illustrates what's going on. Okay, so what do we have for our colors here? Okay, we have those. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do another rectangle tool, and I'm just going to go across, and we'll just go across like this. Then we'll make it a little bit smaller. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and color it the blue color. And then let's put some type in here, or some text in here. We'll just start at that corner, go to this corner. And I'm just going to say spotlight. So I'm just going to have it, not spotlight, spotlight. That looks good. Now click off. And then with that selected, I'm going to go ahead and we will use the dark one here. And that should give me, did that work? I think it worked. Let me see. Roboto 18 regular. Yep, it did. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is just go ahead and I'm just going to center it. And I feel like it could be a little bit bigger, actually. So I'm going to hold Control and Shift. Oh, that's not going to work, actually. I'm going to go ahead and just make it bigger manually because this is kind of a separate one. Let's do 24. Let's do 32. That was better. Okay, so we'll go with something like that. All right, so this will be our spotlight. And this will be kind of like a sub menu item. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just have each little article. Typically an article, right, you're going to see a picture. And then you're going to see some written content. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw I'm going to use the rectangle tool again. But this time, what I'm going to do is go down to the, where are you? Responsive layout, repeat grid. Why do I not see it? I don't know. All right. Well, we'll fix it afterwards. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to draw a picture. Like I'm going to imagine this is going to be my picture for my thing. And then I'm going to draw another box underneath that. And this will be where my text goes, like that. Okay. And now the reason why, and then we'll do also another picture. We'll go like, let's say this. So hold Shift. And this will be a picture of a person. So I'm going to have like a person, like a background picture, and then text underneath it. I think that'll look kind of nice. Okay, so I'm just drawing boxes, so you might be familiar. This is kind of like InDesign, right? You would draw out the boxes, and then you can put your content in afterwards. Now the nice thing is this is a mock-up, right? So we only need placeholder images. Now if I want to put my actual images in, we can do that. So you would just do File, Import, and then import a picture. So I'll just grab this one, and then that will be slapped inside there. So we're going to put this in there. So what I'm going to do is get rid of that one. In order to do that, what you want to do is take, I'm going to take this actually and bring it forwards. I think it's Control, which one is it? Object. We're going to move to the front so I can see it better. Arrange and bring to front. Okay. So the way to do that is you would take the picture, put it over top. It doesn't have to be over top, but that way I can see them both. So you want to grab the shape and then the object, the picture. And then you want to go to Object, and you want to just say Mask with Shape. And now that shape, if I see it, if I make it bigger, you'll see it'll allow for more of it to be visible. And I can actually click in it and click off, and I can move that around. So that's useful if you're trying to mask out the picture. You could also just obviously take the picture and scale it down. But if you are looking to take a picture and make it fit into something, that's how you do it. We're going to do that up here anyway. For our intents and purposes, let's take this and put this back up here, and then we're going to go Object, Arrange. I'm going to send it back. Okay. For our intents and purposes, we're just going to go ahead and just put some stock images in here. But if when you go to yours, you might want to put actual images like lookup pictures, or you could put in like the stuff you did in Adobe Dimension or your logo and things like that. So let's just go ahead and we're going to use more of our plugins. So I'm going to go back to my plugin, and then I don't want to use that one. Now we're going to do free stock search. Unsplash random. Let's see. Oh, they want us to. No, thank you. Unsplash random image. We'll just fill with image. And example. Okay, so let's do, we want to do a landscape. And we want to do, let's say, well, this is Pepsi, right? So let's say a restaurant. There should be plenty of those, I'm sure. Restaurant and get image. And then it's going to fill with an image, and voila, it sticks in a restaurant picture there for us. Sweet, okay? So I can do the same thing here, once again. But this time, instead of using the free stock search, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use UI faces. So you click on that, and you can choose where you want to source these from. Let's do, I don't really care which one it is. I'm familiar with Unsplash, but let's just use, actually, let's use Unsplash. And then we'll do select. Now we can do select photos or apply randomly. If you click apply randomly, it's just going to make a photo to slap it on there. If we do select photos, it's going to pop open a window, and then it will choose, you can choose a person that you want, right? So let's just go ahead and I'll just choose her. Hit apply. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take this off because I don't think we need this anymore. So now I have my person, I have my background. Let's take this object and actually add a drop shadow on it just so she pops out a little bit more. Let's get in a little bit closer. Just because without that, see how it's a little bit better. Let's take the drop shadow color and I'm going to make it a little less transparent, as in not at all transparent. That's a little bit better, just so she pops out. And let's also take this border color and let's make that white. And let's also up the thickness to like 3. And let's do 2. 2. I think that's a little bit better, just so that she's kind of falling into the background a little bit. I wonder if we could take this. Well, we'll leave it like it is. Okay, so that looks fine. Actually, let's take this. I don't want a border or a fill on that. Okay, good. I also want to, I would like it if this picture was somewhat rounded, so see it's square. So right there, this was what I was looking for before I couldn't find it. Right now it's on this one. If you choose this one, you can choose each one. If I do this, it will do all of them. So like, watch, if I do 15, see how it rounds the corners? If you don't want to do that, you could do individual ones, and then I could round the first one, and then do 0, round the second one, and then do 0. And then you're going to end up with a round, straight, round, straight. I don't know if you can see, right? So we'll do something like that. That looks fine. A little fancy. Okay, now I just need to put text in here. So for that, I'm just going to use lorem ipsum. Go over here, lorem ipsum, and we're just going to go ahead and fill with placeholder text. We'll keep all the same stuff. Insert text. Voila. I'm going to go to my document assets, and I'm just going to make sure that this is the P light so that we get the same typeface. And voila. Let's take this and let's make this block, I think. Do we have block as an option? I don't see it in here. Looks like not. Okay, well, we'll just go with what it is. All right, fabuloso. Okay, so what I want to do is just have basically a bunch of these articles, one after the other. And I want to have kind of the same thing over and over again. Now, I could do this. Hang on. I could do this and just duplicate it, right, and do the next one. But there's actually like a built-in thing that's kind of neat. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to make this one unit, and then we're going to repeat it. So I want you to grab all of the 1 bit, and then you're going to group it. You can hit Control-G or Command-G or go Object, Group. Okay? Now, what we can do with this group, if you look on the top here, you can see Repeat Grid. So if you click Repeat Grid, what that's going to do is it's going to open up, and now you can see this little thing here. There's also one this way. It will repeat across any way in the direction you want. So you can go both. I want to go vertical because obviously this is a phone. So we're going to go like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and let's do enough. Let's do, let me see, that's 1, 2, 3. Let's do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll do 5. Okay, so we'll go down to there. Fabuloso. Okay, good. Now we can also do this as well. So when we make our app, I can actually take this and I could extend this to go the full length. Now you'll notice that there's this break here. That means that this is what's going to be viewed. And if someone scrolls this app, actually I'll just show you. If someone scrolls it, right, if I click and, well, you know workity work. Come on. I guess I got to do it through this. You can see you can scroll down and it'll go past it, but the actual border is still that. However, that's kind of annoying because see my menu goes away. You probably don't want that. So what you're better off doing, instead of doing it that way, let me undo that, is because now if I do it, you'll see that's not an option. What we can do instead is this. You can take this object and you can see fixed position when scrolling. You can click on that And then what that's going to allow you to do is that then you take this, you pull it up. Actually, is that the right one? Actually, it might be it. Hang on. No, that was not the one. Sorry, turn that back off. Actually, let's undo. We want this one. Sorry. You're going to click on this. And then this will create this other thing for you. And then watch. I can make it so it's just one. Now watch what happens. When I hit enter, I can scroll through just that one. So you could have a bunch of these. In my case, what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to go ahead and put that right to the bottom of the app. And then when I hit Control Enter in a preview, it's going to scroll those there. Okay? All right. Now, the next thing to do is it's all the same picture, which is kind of lame. So what we're going to do is we're just going to randomize it. So I'm going to go into here, just double click till we get inside. I'm going to grab the second picture. I don't know if I need to grab the first one. I'm going to grab the second one. We're just going to do the same thing we did before, but watch this. I'm going to go to my plugins, and we're going to go to free stock search. Not that one thing. Random image. Fill with image. And then we will choose landscape again, and then I'm just going to choose restaurant again. Get image. And that didn't really do what I was hoping for. Let's try that again. Build image. Let's do something else. We'll just say park. Get image. All right. Apparently, it just used the same restaurant as before. So I'm just going to go in and do that for each one of these. It's fine. And then we'll say factory. Get image. Okay. I'm just going to go right down the line. This one's kind of disappointing because it's not really doing what I was hoping for. And then we'll do, let's see if we do park again, if it gives me a different one or if it's the same one. It's the same one again. It's pretty lame. Doesn't do a good job of doing randomness at all. Let's do highway. I don't know why you'd want that, but, and let's do another one, and let's do boutique. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to replace the person. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab her. And I wonder, let me see something. Yeah. I'll grab this one here and we're going to do UI faces, but this is going to be a little bit different. So watch this. I'll just do on splash again. I'm going to go ahead and we'll do select photos. And I want you to notice it says 5. It knows I need 5 total pictures. I'm just going to go ahead and do randomly and then hit apply, and it's automatically going to apply to each one of those. I was kind of hoping the other one would do that, but for whatever reason, that was not an option. It probably is plugin to plugin, but I knew the other one would do that. So now I have all my images. I have this random text that looks pretty awesome sauce, okay? And if we hit Control Enter, you can see that now we can scroll through and we have our basic stuff in here, okay? So we have the real basic app. It's not actually, there's not more than one page collected, and our menu doesn't necessarily work. So what we're going to do is we're going to make another page in the next video so that we can at least interact with it. I'll probably make 2 pages just so that we have multiple pages to interact with. All right. But now you at least have somewhat of a thing. Now, feel free to play around. There's a lot of other options and strengths and things with this. Try out the different plugins and stuff. Do your own thing.